There is so much she wants to say, just not yet. Today, Elana Fric only uttered what any heartbroken parent would.
The only justice we will have if she can come back, and she will never come back.
She is her daughter, Elana Fric, a wife who wanted to leave an abusive marriage, a mother who left 3 traumatized children behind when she tried to.
Thank you.
It's tremendously relieving that it did result in a guilty plea, because they were facing a 6-week trial with the knowledge that a 14-year-old would be forced to testify.
That 14-year-old was just 11 when she woke up at home to the sound of her mother being killed. A devastating end to what appeared to be a storybook marriage of 2 successful doctors. In a brief but chilling summary, today court heard the child woke to sounds of her parents arguing. She heard banging, her mom scream, then silence. The 11-year-old went to her parents' room to investigate and was ordered back to bed by her father. Mohammed Shamji admits to striking his wife multiple times, breaking her neck and ribs and then choking her to death, then packing her body in a suitcase and dumping it in a river north of Toronto. The former neurosurgeon then carried on with his daily routines, including performing surgeries the next day. Horrific details his daughters heard firsthand today.
We thought it was probably best that they not be in the courtroom, but the eldest was fairly adamant that she be. She is the one who gave a full day of testimony at the preliminary inquiry, and she feels very much a part of the process.
The courage it took to do that. Today was the first time the eldest children saw their father since his arrest 2.5 years ago, and heard too how their mother was a victim of repeated abuse who wanted a divorce but kept giving their father another chance, until she decided to finally end the marriage weeks before she was killed.
Okay, so Joanna, hard to imagine any family going through this, but kids, I mean, how are they doing?
They're heartbroken, and they are incredibly brave, especially the eldest daughters, right? But the little one too, he's only 5, but he still asks for his mom, so it's so sad to hear.
And you mentioned the grandparents and all of this. At the start of the piece, you said, you know, they have a lot that they want to say. Are we actually expecting to hear from them?
Yes, they promised to speak to the media at length at the sentencing hearing once that's over next month. And they do want to take the opportunity to raise awareness about domestic violence. Throughout this last 2.5 years, every court appearance, her funeral, they've been sporting purple ribbons, which are, you know, symbols of domestic violence, because they think it's so important to talk about it. And they will do that next month.
Okay, Joanna, thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Now, this case is a reminder that there is no single type of person who can become a victim of domestic abuse, and reaching out for help can be dangerous. The rate of intimate partner violence was falling until 2014, when it started to creep back up. The most likely targets, 25 to 34 years old, the vast majority of them women. And the abuse could arrive in one explosive incident or be a slow climb to danger.
Emotional abuse, verbal abuse, name calling. It could be controlling access to family and friends.
Goes without saying, getting out safely is nowhere near as simple as walking out the door. Shelters work closely with victims to come up with a safety plan, but there are barriers: fear, poverty, children, and getting out can be dangerous.
We know that puts her at the greatest risk of experiencing violence and worse.
To make just getting information safer for those who need it, a number of websites about domestic violence have quick exit buttons like these and details on how to cover your online tracks, so an abusive partner will never know you were there.